The Minnesota Vikings have made multiple moves ahead of their Week 8 matchup against the Los Angeles Rams, and more are expected to come to ensure that this team bounces back from their first loss of the season, and these moves will have an immediate impact for this week. We're going to be talking about that, as well as a Week 9 update that many fans are going to be very, very excited about. Now, before we get into this video, make sure to hit the sub button, join us here on the channel, covering everything's Minnesota Vikings, the new channel, and you won't want to miss anything that we have to bring you. So without any further ado, let's get into our first topic here of this video, which is a few moves the Vikings have made regarding some immediate decisions. First of all, we're going to touch on one move that is yet to be made, but all signs are pointing to Dalton Risner returning to this lineup and replacing Ed Ingram on the offensive line. And this is what we have here first from Sports Illustrated, saying, coming off their first loss of the season against one of the best teams in the league, there's no need for the 5-1 Vikings to panic ahead of this week's game against the Los Angeles Rams. With that said, they should have a sense of urgency to patch one up any weaknesses that have exposed through the 6 games. One of those has clearly been Ed Ingram, who should be benched in favor of Dalton Risner on Thursday night. Now, with a short week as well, I think this is the absolute right move to make. Without any too many rest days ahead, we're going to have a tired line, we're going to have a tired crew, but we know we need to come out here, bounce back, and we cannot afford to get 2 losses here in a row. And continuing off from this Sports Illustrated article, we do have, well, I will get to a bit later, but this is the offensive line right now that we're going to be looking at. And obviously, Dalton Risner still in the IR. Practice window is opened after coming off the IR, and he will be taken off this ahead of the game on Thursday, which is going to be a big, big thing that the Vikings are going to need to make. We need to protect Sam Darnold in this pocket. Now, we know that the Detroit Lions are one, if not the best team in the NFL. And we are playing a weaker team in the Los Angeles Rams, but this team is still very, very good. And we will need to protect Sam Darnold in this pocket, give Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler opportunities, as well as Cam Akers opportunities to be able to get some extra yards when we may be in a bit of a certain difficulty and a struggling range, or if Sam Darnold does not come into this game hot, which, you know, we can't expect every game to be amazing for Sam Darnold. We know he's very good, but we need all cylinders firing in this game, and we want to see this game get another big W, and especially on a short week, then get a nice little break after that. And this is going to be a big one, what we have coming up. We need to see this team really succeed and continue off what we've seen with the Detroit Lions, obviously with a few patches to be able to get this win. The Detroit Lions game, we've seen some success, a few play calls that were not ideal. We've seen a few blitzes, a few too many blitzes, and a few too many easy 10-yard gains for the Detroit Lions, and those are some things that we're going to need to fix here. But obviously, Dalton Risner will be a huge addition. One thing with Dalton Risner is he's more of a pass protector rather than a run protector. So this will give Sam Darnold maybe an extra second or so in the pocket, hopefully on some of those opportunities that Ed Ingram could not stop. And that was one thing that we really was noticed about Sam Darnold's presence in the pocket, is that coming from that right guard, there was many guys coming, getting past Ed Ingram, and really just, you know, beating him on a lot of opportunities. Now, I shouldn't say every opportunity, because Ed Ingram did have some great plays, some nice ones, but he isn't as consistent as we need to help Sam Darnold in the pocket. And moving on to this, the injury report, as you can see right there at the bottom, Dalton Risner, full practice today on Monday, and we do expect him to come back fully healthy, fully ready to go after some back issues during the winter and the offseason. So still, all signs point to this. We have reports from Sports Illustrated as well that this is guaranteed to happen, and if so, this will be a very, very nice addition. And as I mentioned, this is going to happen. We have no worries about this. But looking at our a little quote here from the one Tyler Fornes. This is from Twitter. It says, "The biggest issue with Ed Ingram is his play style. My comparison for Ingram is the former boxing heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. He wants to knock you out, and he will get himself out of position too often, whether it be leaning in trying to knock you out or failing to get enough power on the punch. It's been an issue consistently. When he does lose, it's going to look significantly worse than other players because of his play style." And I completely agree with this. Noticing what we're seeing on the right guard there with Ed Ingram, he's trying too much to stop his guy. He's getting too out of position. He's not just following it and rather having Sam Darnold a few extra seconds. He's trying to make the big play and trying to get him as much time as possible, which ultimately makes mistakes doing it. And I think that's really the big problem, is the consistency. And as we mentioned, not the issue with Ed Ingram is all bad. He still has some very good plays, and he's held some great protection at times, but he tries to do too much. And Dalton Risner, the more consistency, the safety on the pass protection, I think that's really what we need, knowing that Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, Cam Akers, these guys can really gain the help without the line if they need to. So this is one thing I'm very excited to see heading into our game against the Rams on the short week. And obviously, this is going to be something that we're going to need to watch. We can't really afford to, go down another game. And we don't want to see that. We want to see another win coming out of here strong, a bounce back from this game, really showing the Lions that we're not going to be down because of one loss. We're not out of this count. We need to get another win to get back at the top of the NFC North. And pulling up the screenshot here as well, some more moves that the Vikings have made is signing Calvin Munson and wide receiver Trishton Jackson to the practice squad. Two new guys that are going to be helping out in the depth, especially Calvin Munson, who spent some time with the Patriots, now coming over here, will be a great depth addition to the linebacker core. And I'm very excited to see where he progresses, how he progresses, what he looks like on this system in the Vikings on the practice squad. And maybe at some point, even if there are no injuries, pop into the active roster for a little view. And I think that will be a lot of surprise to some fans that are going to be a very exciting one. I think a lot of people are going to like his play style. But we also have N'Keal Harry, former wide receiver and now tight end, has been released from the practice squad once again. I believe he was released like 2 or 3 times from the practice squad, signed back. But now, after transitioning from wide receiver to the tight end, now he's been released. Coming from the Patriots and kind of the first round pick there, not really sorting his things out and not given the opportunity here. So now we see the moves that are corresponding to this. So let me know what you think about Dalton Risner. Do you think he's going to have a major impact on this one? Or do you think that we're going to see an Ed Ingram return into this lineup if we don't see exactly what we want to see from Dalton Risner? It's something that we're going to have to actually visually wait and see. We can make predictions, but I don't know how that's going to play out in 1 week or 2 weeks' time and really just kind of break it down and watch it and have a look what we're seeing. But move on to our next topic here of the video, which is a pretty big Week 9 update, and we have our first flex into a primetime game. The Vikings Week 9 matchup has been transitioned into a primetime game on Sunday night. Here from Will Raggets, Vikings and Colts Week 9 has officially been flexed to Sunday Night Football, the NFL announces. And happy the NFL is giving the credit to the Minnesota Vikings being able to be a spotlight of the NFL, especially after that loss to the Detroit Lions. Really seemed like the NFL and their Twitter account was really, I guess we could say, glazing the Detroit Lions, and as they have for the past few seasons. But happy that we're getting a primetime game Sunday Night Football once again, getting flexed into. I think that the players are going to be very happy about this, seeing what we're going to, or letting the rest of the league see what the Vikings are made of on primetime. This is going to be a big game. I'm telling you right now, from Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson when he comes back. I'm expecting these guys, Sam Darnold, to really show out for this game, specifically for their opponents, showing the NFL that this team is the real deal. Even after one loss against the Detroit Lions, we're going to be winning that next game, and they are going to have to be scared. So let me know what you think about all this. Are you excited for the primetime game, the Sunday Night Football? And what do you think we're going to see with Dalton Risner here on Thursday? And the Sunday Night Football game against the Colts. Let me know what you think about all of this, but make sure to hit the sub button. Once again, brand new channel. You won't be missing a beat of Minnesota Vikings news here. If you do, hit the sub button. I appreciate if you do, but that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.